All right, so I just got out of seeing I Know What You Did Last Summer. Came out today, technically. I have to say, this was probably the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. It was awful. There wasn't anything good about it. I walked out of the theater, drove home, and I had to stop somewhere to make this video because there's no words to describe how bad it was. Acting alone was so bad. But I was like, as long as the ending, the twist, as long as it's somewhat decent, I can forgive the acting. All right? The acting was god-awful. No one was good in this movie. Besides the returning actors, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. from the originals, the only actress I knew going to this movie was Madeline Klein. The only other movie I saw her in was that Glass Onion movie. She was all right in it. But the thing is, this movie, all she had were these quips and these smart-ass remarks, and it just wasn't good. It didn't land well. How she survived, that's a different topic, because that was one of my biggest issues with the ending, was she survived. But the thing is, we're on this little fisherman boat. She gets stabbed with the hook. She gets stabbed like pretty good, and then she falls into the ocean. She wakes up on a beach somewhere. So my thing is, A, how did she get to land without drowning? That's one thing. Secondly, how did she not bleed out? Because again, she got stabbed pretty good. Like, she should have died. The other characters got stabbed the same way, they die. Somehow she survives, which makes zero sense. The ending, the big twist, Freddie Prinze Jr., one of the heroes from the first two movies, he turns out to be one of the killers. I think the town mayor or whatever tried to cover up the killings from the first movie because no one wanted to move to that town, to Southport, because of all the killings. So they were losing people, and to attract more people, more tourists, they covered up those killings, which, kind of makes sense. His one of his bar staff people, she ends up being the killer, and he joins her. The big thing is her friends screwed her over, and he helps her out by killing them. And his personal thing is the fact that the town tried to cover up their past history, the past murders and stuff, and he's mad they did that. He's mad they tried to turn this creepy ass town into somewhere where people want to go to. So his argument for killing didn't really make much sense, but I was able to that's ultimately what got me. And then the ending where the girl killer survives, the two main leads kind of laugh it off like it's a joke, like, haha, she survived. You should be a little bit scared that she survived. She's probably gonna come after you two now. You're probably both dead. So I didn't understand and that's how it ended pretty much. There were a few moments that got a chuckle out of me. I'll say the kills were somewhat decent. I mean, a lot of them were the same thing with the hook. I knew that movie was gonna be bad. I knew it was gonna be god-awful, but I was like, maybe it'll be all right. I thought maybe it would be a decent 6, maybe 7 out of 10. I'm usually generous. I try to find the good in every movie, no matter how bad it is, but for some reason, I can't find anything good about this movie. The kills were, again, the same stuff. There was one with a harpoon gun. I guess that was kind of cool. That was the first or second kill of the movie. That was all right. You didn't root for anyone. The only character I was honestly rooting for was Freddie Prinze Jr., and he turned out to be one of the killers. So now I'm and again, his motivation didn't make any sense. He doesn't feel like the same character that he played in the first movie, or the first two movies. There's a brief cameo from Sarah Michelle Gellar, who, again, it was a dream sequence because her character died in the first movie, but, I thought that was kind of cool to see her. I'm baffled by what I just saw. If you have the membership, maybe go see it in theaters, form your own opinion. If you actually have to pay for your ticket, wait till it comes out on streaming. This was a basic slasher. Even with basic slashers though, like the first I Know What You Did Last Summer, at least there were even if it was just one character, there was somebody you were rooting for. I don't know the actress off the top of my head, but the main girl, she wasn't good. Madeline Klein wasn't good. There was no one good in this movie. And I love horror movies. I'll defend even the worst ones, like a Nightmare remake. A lot of people hate it. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. I can't even say it was watchable. I thought maybe, just maybe, the ending would redeem it somehow. With this movie, the ending made no sense. And to get into the ending more, the first movie, you know, they accidentally kill someone, they don't go to the police, or they try to cover it up, and then a year later it comes back to bite them in the ass. You know, someone's after them. With this movie, the person who died, I think it was some kind of counselor of some sort that was actually helping the girl killer out, because I guess she was on meds and stuff. She wasn't doing too good mentally, and this guy Sam Cooper was trying to get her right on the right path, you know, trying to get her better. Blamed her friends for killing him, for not being truthful with the cops. And Freddie Prinze found out what she was doing. He wanted to help her seek revenge, but again, what bugs me is that's not the same character in the first two movies. It was like Freddie Prinze Jr. was playing the same character, but a different character at the same time. Like, it wasn't the same character. And you could argue that the trauma from the first two movies shaped him into this like revenge-seeking guy. It would help if they sprinkled that throughout the movie, but his turn just felt like it came out of nowhere. They didn't do a good job of setting up the ending, and I think that's where it failed. Was like a good twist. You have to be able to set it up, but not make it too obvious to the point where people are able to figure it out from the first like half an hour. But you gotta make it seem logical. Honestly, didn't even have any kind of clue that she was the killer until like the last 2 minutes before they revealed it. No, they probably threw it in there just for a shock factor. Like, oh my God, this main guy you loved in the first two movies, he's the killer now. I wasn't going into it thinking it was going to be a 10 out of 10 movie, but I thought maybe, just maybe it would be a 6, 7 out of 10, but even that's being really generous. Jennifer Love Hewitt, again, I think honestly she was my favorite part, but I think she saved this movie from being a 0. I'm willing to give it like a 2, 3 out of 10 just because of her. My final thoughts are save your money. Unless you're bored and you want to go to the theater and you want to see something, you want to see a horror movie, then I mean, go see it. But you're not gonna like it, I'll be honest. And I like a lot of bad horror movies. This was so bad it's bad. Like, it wasn't good. That's all I have for this. If you enjoy, maybe this should be my thing. Maybe I should just watch bad movies and do reviews on them. I don't know. But if this gets traction, or you know, the views, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But otherwise, this will just be a video for me to watch later on in life. I'll be able to remember that one really bad horror movie I saw in theaters.